Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to a beautiful Friday night of action here at Beckham Field at Carolina Softball Stadium. As we are here to bring you top 10 South Carolina, many variable polls against top 20 Ole Miss softball SEC action here. Spencer, it's a beautiful night. South Carolina on a big roll. Tell the people how the Gamecocks have fared lately.
I mean, this team has been really, really hot. They're 5-1 in ranked series on the season. The only one they've dropped is on the road at Oklahoma. All of those losses came by one run. JP, I think the Carolina faithful will be more than okay with that, being competitive against the premier softball program in the nation, and especially in their first year under Ashley Chastain Woodard is incredibly impressive. But just this past weekend, they went on the road down to Baton Rouge and took 2 of 3 off the third-ranked Tigers in a doubleheader on Sunday.
Yeah, and they were rewarded with that, moving up to as high as number 6 in the polls. And they get a chance to keep things rolling here at home, somewhere they've been very, very powerful, Spencer.
Yeah, they've played a lot of home games. They host some invitationals to start the year, but, really getting big series wins over Texas Tech, a big midweek win against your bitter rival in Clemson. This program is really trending in the right direction right now. We've seen them do well in the non-conference in past years, but this year they're faring a lot better and at least a lot more competitively in these SEC matchups.
Absolutely, and as we get into the matchup, they take on the Ole Miss Rebels tonight. Spencer, tell me how the Rebels are lining up to start tonight's action.
The Rebels are a really solid squad. Again, pretty much every softball program in the SEC is, but they're ranked 19th right now in the USA Today polls. But really, a place where they've gotten a lot of production from is their freshmen, JP. It's been their dynamic pitcher who gets the start tonight, Miley Wachino, really leading things for them. She's 8th in the nation in strikeouts. And also behind the dish, they're led by Percy Yamas, the first baseman. The freshman leads them in RBIs with 34. They just get a lot of production from their, first-year players. They've got some big old bats to back it up who have been here in Ole Miss for a while.
Absolutely, and while South Carolina is going through the starting lineups on the big screen, tell the people at home how the Rebels are lining up to start tonight's game.
Yeah, let me grab my sheet here, but starting in left field, it's going to be Jaden Pone. In right, it's going to be Lair Boutte. The designated player is Aaliyah Binford. At first base is going to be Percy Yamas batting cleanup. Batting 5th and catching, it's the powerful hitting Lexi Brady. Again, one of those freshmen I just mentioned, and playing second base is Mackenzie Pickens. In center field, it's Taylor Malvin. At third base, it's Angelina De Leon. And the shortstop is Ryan Starr. That rounds out the Rebel lineup. Again, with Miley Wachino on the mound. JP, would you tell us a little bit about the home team?
Absolutely. Batting leadoff for the Gamecocks is the center fielder, Quincy Lilio, the junior, batting .434 on the year. Batting second, playing second base, is Carly Shelton. Batting third, playing first base, it's Ariana Rhodey. Batting fourth, playing third, it's Ella Chansey. Batting fifth, playing in right field, Abigail Knight. Batting sixth, the catcher, Lexi Winters. Batting seventh, the designated player, Natalie Heath. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Brooke Blankenship. And then batting ninth in left field, it's Emily Vincent. Starting pitcher, the righty, Sam Gress, someone we've seen a lot of. And for Carolina, Spencer, every person in this lineup, except for Vincent, is batting over 300.
Yeah, and out in left field, we've seen Vincent as well as kind of a platoon of other players. So she hasn't got as many opportunities as everyone else in the lineup. But, again, hey, she's getting the start today. Go put up some quality at-bats, and that's a good way to get more playing time. But this is a very loaded lineup, but it's also very well-balanced. I think that's something that South Carolina does really well. They get production from everyone, 1 through 9. And, JP, we talked about Sam Gress, but there's a plethora of arms in this bullpen that are more than capable.
Absolutely. South Carolina is really kind of a pitching by committee. Several people with, 7, 8, 9 starts on the year as Sam Gress toes the rubber and, throws her warm-up pitches as we get ready to begin the first inning. 6th-year player, followed Ashley Chastain Woodard from the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. And she has completed her warm-up, and we are set here to begin the top of the 7th. The Ole Miss Rebels led by head coach Jamie Trexel in his 4th season, helming this Rebel ship. Batting leadoff for Ole Miss here, it's Jaden Pone, the senior from Hope Mills, North Carolina, batting .366 on the year. And Gress throws our first pitch high for ball 1.
Yeah, and we've seen that's something we've been able to notice with Sam Gress is sometimes the control's not there. She's walked a decent bit of batters this year, but she does a really good job of getting herself out of that trouble and forcing ground ball contact.
Yes, she does. One of the best pitchers South Carolina has, 2.91 ERA on the season. She's been doing it really well lately as that one's in there for strike one.
Pone looked like she was showing slap hit there.
But backed away from it, but Gress was able to get it into the strike zone.
Yeah, those corner infielders ready to pounce, and it definitely looks like Pone's ready to run.
Now Gress looking in. She has the sign. Winds, delivers, swung on, fouled back for strike two.
And that's important because it's a lot harder to slap hit when you've got 2 strikes on you, because if you end up kind of bunting it, JP, that's just an automatic out.
Yeah, and so it could always – it's the give or take that comes with any strategy now as Gress is looking in. Winds, fires the 1-2 pitch. Low for ball 2. That one was a little bit of a drop ball in there, Spencer.
And one thing we've seen from Gress, especially against their last home series against Texas Tech, she's a really nasty curveball, but doesn't use it all that often. But it wouldn't surprise me if she goes to it here. She hasn't thrown it yet.
No, she hasn't. And Pone looking to get back into this count. It's 2-2 now as Gress delivers.
And that one barely misses inside.
Tough call there from home plate umpire Jacob Aggie.
That didn't miss by much, Spencer.
No, really close pitch. I love it from Gress because, again, if Pone gets her bat to that, it's probably a little jammed and maybe some weak contact induced.
Yep, and Gress looking in. She has the sign. She winds, fires the 3-2 pitch, and lined into left field for a base hit. Jaden Pone gets the lead runner on for Ole Miss here in the first inning. So she battles back from a 1-2 count, runs it full, and then gets a nice opposite field single, Spencer. Isn't that just what you want to see out of a leadoff hitter?
Absolutely. I mean, first off, the most important thing, you end up on base. But, that was a really disciplined at-bat. She found her pitch, was able to barrel it up, and just poke it over the head of Ella Chansey at third.
Yes, now stepping in, Lair Butte, the senior from Riverside, California, batting .432 on the year.
And Gress's pitch, high for ball 1. So 2 at-bats, 2 balls to start off the count. That's something to keep an eye on, especially if this pitch count can kind of get ramped up for Ole Miss. If you're Gress, you really want to start getting first pitch strikes on the board.
Couldn't have said it better. You want to, work in favorable counts for yourself.
Now Gress is going to wind, fire.
That one is launched into left, but very playable for South Carolina, and it'll be collected there for the first out of the inning by the left fielder, Emily Vincent. A pretty good defensive player. That one just hung up in the air, Spencer.
Yeah, it was a little tough to read because it was kind of slicing to Vincent's right, our left, but read it well, and, we've still got Pone on first, so really, nice but routine play from the left fielder.
Yep, and that'll bring up Aaliyah Benford, the senior from New Braunfels, Texas, batting .351 on the year, 5 home runs, 9 doubles. Power hitting, right-handed hitter. And Gress's pitch misses for ball 1. Another close call inside from the home plate umpire, much to the chagrin of the South Carolina faithful.
That's kind of a top or bottom of the first affair. You got to figure out the strike zone a little bit. And, if Gress knows she's not getting those, wouldn't expect to see many more up there.
Now as the 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed.
So Gress comes right back with the heater and gets a whiff there. The first 3 hitters in this lineup for Ole Miss, Spencer, all seniors. And Benford, just an unbelievable player.
They've got some real pop in this lineup.
And Gress is going to fire. That one is lined into right field, shallow right field. It'll be down for a hit.
So and a single for Benford, and Pone had to hang up there. She wasn't sure if it was going to drop or not. She read it perfectly, was able to get to second to avoid the force out. So that'll make it runners on first and second for the Rebels with a left-handed hitter, 5 home runs, 6 doubles on the season for the freshman, Percy Yamas.
Yeah, team leader in RBI with 35. She has meant a lot to this team in her first year. And from Benford there, just hit it where they aren't.
Yep, and Gress fires that one in there for strike 1. That fastball clipped the inside. Yamas, a true freshman, slugging .592. She also has 14 walks on the season, Spencer.
And one thing she does extremely well is not strike out. Only 2 Ks on the entire season.
That's exactly what I was checking as Gress fires that one in there for strike 2.
So 2 strikes quickly here on Yamas. Only 2 strikeouts on the season. Well, she's
In a disadvantageous position here as
now Gress is going to try and expand here, and you'd think get Yamas to get the ball on the ground. Easy double play to try and get out of this inning. And Gress looks at her wrist, has the sign, winds, delivers, misses inside and low there. I believe that was a little bit of a changeup maybe, Spencer.
Yeah, definitely had something on it moving in on the hands of Yamas, but good discipline there not to go chasing. And, again, she's proven that the whole year. She's not going to do that.
Absolutely. Now making a 1-2 count here for Percy Yamas. And Gress winds, fires, fouled away.
Into the netting, Yamas staying alive. Almost hit her teammate on deck, Lexi Brady. So Brady had to duck out of the way there a little bit. Ole Miss wearing the Navy uniforms with red numbers and red lettering with white pants. Carolina in the all red with garnet hats, or all white, excuse me. Sam Gress winds, fires, and that one's in there for strike 3. Yamas rung up looking for her 3rd strikeout of the season, and Gress gets a huge second out, Spencer.
That's just an excellent pitch there. You know, I think Yamas maybe thought that was a ball and just caught her on the inside third. Really excellent pitch, and does a good job to avoid bases loaded here against the big Lexi Brady.
Yeah, exactly. Brady with 12 home runs on the senior from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. A just absolute monster at the plate as Gress fires in there, and it's in there for a strike. So Gress now working very efficiently. And you know, I think with Yamas, she kind of knew it at the last second it was a strike. It buckled her at the knees. The moment she figured it out, it was too late. Carolina playing with a little bit of a shift on for Brady. And the 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed. Second baseman Carly Shelton is playing pretty much behind the bag there. With the third baseman, Ella Chansey kind of, you know, at the bag, and the shortstop, Brooke Blankenship, playing nearly on the grass. So a pull hitter, they're playing her pull side very aggressively. It's an 0-2 count for Brady, and the pitch. Fouled up, and it'll drop harmlessly in foul territory right in front of the Carolina dugout.
Yeah, Gress has done a really good job as of late, you know, getting into more favorable counts for herself. And, again, you got to be very careful with Lexi Brady. More than double, you know, the second person in second with home runs on their team, as they've got a couple with 5. But Brady with 12, and they've all come as of late. She had a slow start to the season, but since then, all gas.
Absolutely. And now it's an 0-2 count for Gress. 2 outs in the top of the first. Gress toes, fires. That one is fouled away into the crowd. And we can hear it hit the roof.
But
no play for us up here.
No. The day that happens, I will be a very happy person, although we don't have that many opportunities. So we'll have to get one by the end of the semester. But Brady staying alive here.
Gress looking for her 56th strikeout of the season. Gress winds, fires, and that one misses down, skidded in the dirt.
I like that pitch from Gress, though. You know, Brady had swung at 4 straight pitches.
Yeah.
You know, thrown her a lot of good ones. Throw her something in the dirt and just see if she'll chase.
Yeah, not a bad strategy at all. Now Gress, still a 1-2 count, looks in, has her sign, toes, winds, fires, swung on, fouled away. Just barely got the, you know, I mean, it looked like she kind of threw the bat over her head even to try and get a piece of that one.
Yeah, don't know that would have been a strike, but, you know, when you're a hitter, you got to expand the strike zone mentally and fend off a little bit more, and Brady's doing a really good job of that.
Yeah, they're in defense mode.
And now it's a 1-2 count, still 2 outs. Runners on first and second for Ole Miss here on the top of the first. Gress looking in, she has her sign. Winds, fires, swung on, fouled away, barely. Foul tip there, caught a bit of Winters in the mask there, but she seems to be all right.
Yeah, you know, Gress is going to check on her, but
and
they'll strategize a little.
Seems like everything's okay. Winters laughing it off. Brady stepped out of the batter's box just a little bit. You know, give everyone time to kind of collect themselves. Yeah.
Like that.
And now the 1-2 count. Binford and Pone on first and second, respectively, for Ole Miss. It's the 1-2. 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch from Gress. That one is lined but foul in the left. She was just out in front of that one. Got all of it.
And you can see what you're dealing with there. It's that ball left the park, but thankfully left of the pole for Gamecocks there.
Yeah, I mean, it was trailing foul the whole way. Ended up almost going over the bullpen, but
got our 9th pitch of the at-bat here, JP.
Yeah, this has been a high-stress inning for Gress. So don't be surprised if we see some action there in the Carolina bullpen. They don't really have a lot of pitchers that, have the level of wear and tear on the arms that maybe some of the other top teams in the SEC do. And Gress toes the 1-2 pitch. And that one got her looking for strike 3 to end the threat in the top of the first. I mean, that one, she was sitting fastball the whole way, and Gress just fooled her with the off-speed, Spencer.
Yeah, and she hadn't thrown an off-speed in the zone there. She threw one in the dirt, and after firing some fastballs, Brady fouled it off, went off-speed, completely frozen. 2 straight backwards Ks there for Sam Gress.
Yep, her 55th and 56th strikeouts of the campaign, respectively. We're going to take a quick break right here. We'll be right back with you for the bottom of the first. Stay with us. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back here for the home half of the first inning. South Carolina escaped trouble in the first with Ole Miss having runners on first and second and 1 out, but Sam Gress gets out of it. Now Quincy Lilio steps in, takes the first pitch for a ball from Ole Miss starter Miley Wachenio. 2.12 ERA on the season, a 12-6 record, 102 1/3 innings pitched, 144 Ks. One of the best starters South Carolina will face all year. And she's missed with her first 2 pitches after that one, makes it a 2-0 count.
And simply put, one of the best starters in the country. I mean, Wachenio is really special. 8th in the nation in strikeouts. Again, puts in a lot of innings for this team, puts down a lot of batters. I mean, this is clearly, I would say, the Rebels' ace, JP.
Almost certainly. As she looks in, she has it. And in there for a strike. So she's on the board. Makes it a 2-1 count against Lilio, the redshirt junior from Oceanside, California, batting .434 on the year. No home runs, but she's an on-base machine, man. 46 hits, 10 of them doubles, 30 walks. And the 2-1 pitch here. I mean, it seems like she's hit the same location 3 times, or 4 times,
All
Spencer.
4 times. I mean, she's really trying to paint this outside corner, giving Lilio nothing on the inside half. Hasn't necessarily gone Wachenio's way thus far.
No, it's
but again,
a 3-1 count. And, Lilio only 4 Ks herself on the season at the plate. So Wachenio trying to get a run the count full as that one misses high for ball 4. The rise ball didn't get Lilio to chase, and the leadoff runner on for both the Rebels and the Gamecocks in this first inning.
Yeah, that's just a really great job from Lilio. Just, knows the strike zone well, especially after you saw a couple of those on the outside not get called for strikes. Just don't wave at it, and she finds her way to first.
Absolutely. That'll bring up Carly Shelton, the sophomore from Lexington, South Carolina. Just an all-around solid 2-hole hitter as this pitch
in there for a strike. She's of her 6 pitches, 5 of them have hit the exact same spot, down and away to a lefty batter. She's only got a strike call on 2 of them, but she's 0-1 on Shelton, and now the pitch. That one misses outside for ball 2, so that one she tried to go to the same spot but lost it a little bit.
Yeah, and so far, I wasn't sure if the strategy was going to change based on the batter, but really honing in again on the outside part of the zone so far to 2 straight lefties.
Now the 1-1 pitch, fouled away by Shelton. And that one leaves the stadium.
Yeah, Shelton's she has some power. 3 home runs on the year, but 13 doubles. That leads the team, so doesn't have to leave the yard every time, but again, got some strength.
I mean, you just got to get in the gap, and especially with someone like Lilio on first, anything to the wall, and she's probably going to score.
It's a 1-2 count for Shelton, however, and the pitch fouled away again.
So Shelton
staying alive, but not afraid to swing the bat either.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that's surprising at all watching Carly Shelton play. Definitely an aggressive hitter. She struck out 9 times on the year, but she's got 18 walks to go with it and a .339 average.
Huacheño's pitch lined into right field. Backing up is the right fielder for Ole Miss, and she has it easy there. That was the right fielder, Lair Boutte, and she was able to, that one, had a little bit more on it, though there's not much of a breeze here right now, and had some ride, but just couldn't leave the yard.
Yeah, I don't think Shelton could get all of her power into that one as it was, again, an off-speed kind of outside. Couldn't get her full muscle, but, it going that far on that swing was impressive in itself.
That'll bring up Ariana Rhodey, 11 home runs on the season, and that pitch is in there for strike 1. So the first lefty-lefty matchup here for Huacheño, lefty-righty matchup for Huacheño.
Righty-righty. All the other ones have been lefty-righty.
I'm flipped on my head, and that pitch is in the dirt. Lilio taking off for second, and she is in there safe. I'm just flipped around. Normally you watch baseball, softball on TV, and she's standing to my left now.
We do have an odd angle for sure.
Yes,
that's why on that Shelton hit, I was about leaned out the window.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is left. This is right. So it's a 1-1 count here for Rhodey. That pitch was in the dirt, and Huacheño's going to step off. So Lilio now in scoring position with the stolen base. Rhodey, 11 home runs, 6 doubles, 33 walks, a .854 slugging. And that pitch misses for ball 2.
And that was Lilio's 5th stolen base of the year. And Rhodey, again, just a couple days ago, was named 2nd in first baseman power rankings by Division I softball, one of those major polls we talked about.
The pitch from Huacheño is fouled up the other way, out of the stadium again. The count will run now to 2-2. Rhodey, I had the pleasure. She hit that 3-run bomb that was really kind of the big difference maker in the win against Clemson. Got South Carolina on the board and kind of knocked Clemson out of it mentally. Now she's got a chance here in the first inning again. The 2-2 pitch misses down and away to Rhodey. So, you kind of see what Huacheño is trying to do. She's either trying to get him to expand or trying to nick that corner and get a call. And, well, it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, and you run a big risk when you go inside on Rhodey because, again, she's got the 2nd most homers on either team here.
And Huacheño's 2-2 pitch misses high for ball 4. The count ran full on that down and away pitch. And now, just like Ole Miss in the first inning, South Carolina has runners on first and second with 1 away. South Carolina was able to get out of it. Wachenio, one of the nation's best pitchers,
Looking to do the same.
that'll bring up Ella Chansey, senior from Athens, Georgia. 20 walks on the year, 11 doubles, only 1 home run, but 25 RBI. And Wachenio's pitch. And she misses, and it gets away. Lilio and Rhodey will advance, and that'll make it where a base hit, Spencer. That'll score you 2.
You got some speed on the base paths here.
And you've got 2 outs to play with now. So Chansey, we'll see the infield creep in, but anything that leaves it certainly does bring home 2 runs.
Yeah, Wachenio now definitely going to be pitching a little bit more defensively, trying to induce some weak contact to her corner outfielders. And the 1-0 pitch in there for strike 1. So Chansey batting .289 on the season, but, I mean, like I said, she's an on-base machine, and she's really good at situational hitting. She bats .308 with runners in scoring position. And now Wachenio, if she can get that second out, the 1-1 pitch, and that one is lined right back to the pitcher, and they throw it to third, and they double her off. An unconventional double play, to say the least, but Wachenio plays it perfectly, and just like that, the threat is extinguished.
The 1-5 double play is not something you get to say very often. Just unfortunate from Chansey. Came off, jammed her a bit, did Wachenio, went right back to her. Easy throw because Lilio was running on contact. Unfortunate way to end the first, but a promising one for South Carolina.
Yeah, there was just no way Lilio could have done anything there. That will now head to the top of the second inning. Going to take a quick break. Stick with us as Ole Miss will get back into the batter's box. And leading off the top of the second for Ole Miss, it's Mackenzie Pickens, the freshman from Flowery Branch, Georgia. As Sam Gress's pitch misses up for ball 1. So much like the first inning, starting off with a ball here, Spencer.
Yeah, and 25 pitches in that first frame from Gress. So, again, we'll let you know whenever we can, peek out an arm in the South Carolina bullpen, but she definitely is going to want to try and limit that going forward.
We're certainly going to try for you as that one is lined right behind first base.
And it's a nice snag by the first baseman, Ariana Rhodey.
Over the shoulder catch there a little bit. It was kind of hard to play that one because it started in the sun and then drifted into the shadows behind first base. I almost take out my water bottle.
And it was also kind of tailing foul and a tough
Just
play.
a tough play and a really great read by Rhodey.
Absolutely.
Now stepping in, it's Taylor Malvin, the junior from Johns Creek, Georgia. And Gress had a 25-pitch first inning.
1 out on 1
pitch, and there's a strike in there as Malvin was showing slap hit.
And you can see how the entire defense is reading that one. I mean, we've got the outfielders only playing at about half depth, and the infielders well in on the dirt.
We might be seeing just a great strategic battle here, Spencer, as the 0-1 pitch in there for strike 2. So Taylor Melvin falling behind 0-2 in the count. On the season, she has struck out 16 times to 21 walks. So a kind of true 3 outcomes player, the left-handed hitter here. The 0-2 count, Gress winds, fires, and that one is slapped foul by Melvin.
Yeah, and again, Melvin, I think this is a good place to put her in the lineup because, Pickens ahead of her, unfortunately, for the Rebels, popped out, but she's kind of an on-base machine. You have a slap hitter right behind her. It's an easy way to advance runners.
And now Gress, the 0-2 pitch, and swung on and missed. Melvin strikes out, and Gress with her 3rd K of the day, already 2 outs here in the top of the 2nd.
And 2 outs on 6 pitches is a lot better from Sam Gress. Again, we saw some really good counts, especially from Lexi Brady working a 9-pitch, even though it ended in a strikeout. Those hard-fought ABs, it's what gets you pulled off the circle.
Absolutely. And now Angelina De Leon steps in. The pitch from Gress in there for strike 1. So Gress working fast in this 2nd inning. De Leon, a senior from Valley Springs, California. Nice little season, Spencer.
Yeah, these are 2 premier teams, JP. It doesn't matter what side of the lineup you're on. Everybody's going to be really solid.
Sam Gress fires. Misses low there on the changeup. Doesn't get her to chase. De Leon has 12 walks on the season. 3 doubles, 3 home runs, 14 RBI, only 69 at-bats. So, not exactly, the premier hitter in this lineup, as that one is popped over to third base and collected nicely by the third baseman, Ella Chansey, for the 3rd out of the inning. A quick inning for Sam Gress and the Carolina Gamecocks. We're going to take a break real quick here. Pop right back at you for the bottom of the 2nd. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here for the bottom of the 2nd inning, as after a long first, it was a quick top of the 2nd for South Carolina, Spencer.
Yeah, it was a long first for both teams against South Carolina. Had runners on 2nd and 3rd, but a 1-5 double play from Miley Wachenio ended things for the Gamecocks as we remain scoreless, but a promising first from South Carolina.
Absolutely, as Abigail Knight will step in, the 6th-year player from Robbinsville, North Carolina, batting .340 on the campaign. And Wachenio fires in. Misses for ball 1.
And you can see Brady just kind of hold that glove there, just saying, hey, you sure about that?
I mean, it's been an uneven start to the calls behind the plate for both teams. It's just been a lot of, we threw the same pitch there. Last time we called it this time we're calling it that, and it's just.
We also probably don't have the best angle to see exactly where that's hitting on the outside.
And the 1-0 pitch is lofted into left field, but not too deep and not too tough a play.
for the left fielder, Jaden Pone. And that's one away here in the bottom of the second.
I mean, you know, we talked about how quick the top of the second was for South Carolina. The bats are moving at that same pace here.
Yes, as Lexi Winters will step in, the junior from Lexington, South Carolina. Bats .320 on the year, 8 doubles, 4 home runs, 9 walks.
She just gets on base, and Wachenio could try and stop that. Gets it in there for strike one.
That was a good first pitch right there.
It was. You know, Wachenio had runners on second and third and induced a crazy double play in the first and looking to establish herself, much like Rest did in that top of the second, as that one is hit over to the shortstop, fielded cleanly, throws over to first for the out. So the shortstop, Ryan Starr, over first baseman Percy Yamas, and it's 2 away here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, and you know, outside of Wachenio, we hadn't really seen anything from the infield, so finally they get to do a little something defensively.
And I'll bring up Natalie Heath, a power-hitting designated player for this Gamecock squad. 6 long balls all the season. And that first pitch runs up and in on Heath. She ducks out of the way. A 1-0 count.
It dodged the sweet chin music there.
And for Heath, batting .319 on the year, but a .667 slugging.
And Wachenio's 1-0 pitch misses inside for ball 2.
Good eye there. That was a little in at the knees on Heath, but, you know, we saw it in that Texas Tech series. If you make the mistake and leave something out over the plate in front of Nat Heath,
she's going to get it. She's going to get all over that. And the redshirt junior from Sharpsburg, Georgia, the 2-0 pitch is swung on and fouled away by Heath. So that'll make it 2-1.
Yeah, good recovery there from Wachenio as that one got Heath to swing on a rise ball there.
And so maybe she's going to try and get Heath to expand again and do so. Weak pop-up. She's gotten 2 weak outs already this inning, and the 2-1 pitch from Wachenio misses on the rise ball, but she went back to the well again, but that'll make the count 3-1.
Yeah, that one definitely a little upstairs. A good eye from Heath, and, you know, the Gamecocks are one of the best in the nation at just getting on base by any means, and that includes being walked.
Yes, and the 3-1 pitch in there for strike 2. So the count will run full now for Heath. We had 1 full count in the first inning. Ariana Rhodey walked.
Wachenio looking to avoid that now.
That's the only way anybody's gotten on base so far. Again, the Gamecocks are hitless, but they've drawn 2 walks.
And, you know, wild pitch, a stolen base, and the 3-2 pitch lined over to third base, fielded cleanly, throws over to first, and the lunging grab.
So a clean bottom of the second for Ole Miss.
3 up, 3 down. We'll see you in the third. Stay with us. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here for the top of the third inning here from Carolina Softball Stadium as the number 6 Gamecocks and the number 19 Ole Miss Rebels sit still at 0-0 on the scoreboard. Rebels looking to change this in the second inning. It's going to be Ryan Starr, the junior from Long Island, New York, the shortstop stepping in.
You know, for number 9 in the circle, it was a 9-pitch inning last time, facing the 9-hole hitter in the box. How about that?
Yeah, Sam Gress, a very efficient second inning after a tough first. That one, they're going to appeal down. She did not go, so it'll start out 1-0 for the junior.
Who has not played very much this year. This is her 20th start of the season. Just 15 at-bats on the campaign.
And Grass working, fires, fouled away. They'll run the count up to 1-1.
And, you know, for Starr, anything she can provide offensively right now is huge as the lineup's about to flip back over. And this top of the Rebel lineup is really, really stacked, JP.
Yes, it is. I mean, we saw it in the first. They had runners on first and second with 1 out. Carolina got out of it. Part of a 25-pitch first inning for Sam Gress. Now it's 1-1. She fires. And the bunt from Starr. It gets down to Rhodey. Rhodey over to, I think that's Shelton. And Shelton able to make a tough grab and hold on to it for the out.
That was, in fact, Carly Shelton.
The second baseman ranging over. Just a well-executed defensive play on the bunt attempt, Spencer.
Yeah, and you can tell South Carolina has practiced that because not only was it was Chansey, Gress, Rhodey all coming in at that ball, and Shelton knew to get to first. That's just a really heads-up defensive play.
That'll bring up Jaden Pone, who led off the night with a single in the first inning after a tough at-bat. And she lines that one right up the middle. That one's going to get fielded cleanly by Lilio that will hold Pone at first. Looked at first like that one might have snuck through the gap and into center, like up to the wall. And it looked like Pone was about to round first. But
Lilio with a great job cutting that one off. Took a good angle. As again, Pone with her speed, we see her, you know, trying to slap the ball, use that speed to her advantage. That time she just got all of it on the pitch that ran inside.
Yeah, Lilio was playing a little bit more in left center, and that one nearly split the difference between her and Abigail Knight. Now Gress facing Lair Boutte, fires and Boutte fouls that one away.
Gress has been finding the zone a lot quicker in strike zones, and
yes,
you know, that plays to her favor, but also if she's throwing strikes, you know the Rebels are going to swing.
Boutte flew out to left field in her first time up. It was fielded cleanly by Emily Vinson. Batting .422 on the season, and a no-1 count here with a runner on first. And Gress looking at her wrist. Winds, fires, and that one a off-speed pitch hit right to Shelton at second. Flips over to first, and she beat it out. So Boutte runs out the fielder's choice there, but it looked like Boutte was sitting fastball there, Spencer. The off-speed caught her off guard.
Yeah, and again, I mentioned it in pregame, but that curveball from Gress does a really good job of kind of dismantling your approach. You know, it gets your weight distribution all off, and Boutte was just kind of lunging forward, waiting back on it.
She had already committed to swinging, but it didn't come in nearly as fast as she thought. So 2 away here as Elia Binford puts that one into shallow center field. Lilio coming on, makes the catch on the lazy fly ball. And that one will end the inning with a runner stranded at first. Another clean inning for Sam Gress.
Just 7 pitches.
Just 7 pitches. So in her first inning of work, 25. Her last 2, it's been 16. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back for you for the home half of things. And we are back here for the bottom of the third as Brooke Blankenship, the senior from Hudson, Florida, will step in, try and lead things off for the Gamecocks, looking for their first hit of the night. A good candidate to do it, Spencer.
Yeah, Brooke Blankenship has been really consistent for this team. Transferred in from Florida State after her freshman year and has been here ever since as the starting shortstop. And I want to say she's played about every game. I mean, she's been very, very prominent in this team's history.
Yeah, pretty much, as Blankenship will watch the first pitch there from Wachenio, miss high for ball one. So Wachenio struggling to get these first pitch strikes still. It feels like she's banking on these hitters to chase, and that's just not really something this Carolina lineup does.
Yeah, again, they're more than happy to take a walk.
And Wachenio.
That one is missing in.
Someone from behind home plate made a noise, and I thought it was the umpire saying strike.
I did too.
But,
I mean,
I would have bought it.
It was a pretty pitch from Wachenio, but the count 2-0 regardless. And Blankenship looking for her 14th walk of the season.
That one misses high on the rise ball, so Wachenio digging herself into a 3-0 hole there on the mound.
Think she's got the green light here.
I would say Blankenship probably doesn't, especially with how this game has gone,
Yeah,
how
I don't
South
think
Carolina
so
has
either,
gotten.
But Wachenio's 3-0 pitch in there for strike one. That one generates a reaction
That
from the
might
crowd.
have been the third best pitch of the at-bat. That was the first strike called. You know, that one?
Yeah, maybe an I'm sorry call from
Yeah, you know what?
Jacob Aggie.
And maybe that's fair there.
Maybe.
But Blankenship, the 3-1 pitch. Misses high for ball four. Another walk for this Carolina lineup.
And, you know, with that one, there was no doubt. You know, well high. Blankenship takes her base. Again, it's the third walk for Wachenio, and that's been the only trouble she's faced so far.
It has. And it's none too dissimilar to how the, first inning started. Carolina got runners on second and third with one away, but a nasty double play right back to the pitcher ended that threat. Emily Vinson, the senior from Elgin, South Carolina, will step in. And she's showing bunt. Got a piece of it into the netting as the rise ball from Wachenio gets her to strike one.
Yeah, and you could see the corner infielders very prepared for that. Again, we talked about it last inning. Defensive masterclass may be unfolding right in front of us here.
Yeah, Vincent, not a big power threat, just a 209 slug percentage on the year, but 12 hits, 11 walks, and that one is in there for strike two from Wachenio. So an 0-2 count now for Vincent. And it'll be interesting to see if they get Brooke Blankenship going. She's got 3 stolen bases on the year. They've been active on the base pass so far tonight. The 0-2 pitch from Wachenio. Misses high.
That rise ball, you know, on an 0-2 count, I think that's a totally fine pitch, but the rise ball's kind of gotten away from Wachenio a little bit. She's missed high a fair amount tonight.
Yeah, maybe she's trying to get him to chase, and it's just not working. Maybe she's trying to catch a batter running, but, I mean, 0-2 you kind of pitches to work with here as her 1-2 pitch. And did Vincent go? She did. She went the first base umpire, Lyndon Baptiste, says she went around. I think that's a good call, Spencer.
It was mighty close again. I feel like you just got to go with what the umpire says there because we sure didn't have the angle, but her first K of the night with Wachenio's.
Yeah, and for a pitcher with 144 of them coming into the night, kind of shocking to see that. Quincy Lilio will step in. She led off things with a walk in the first inning. And showing slap hit there a little bit. That pitch misses for a ball. And for South Carolina, you're just trying to avoid the double play, Spencer.
Absolutely are. Again, that's what killed their, momentum in the first inning. So anything but that would probably be pretty welcome.
And the 1-0 pitch, Lilio showing bunt. That one for a strike. Even up the count at 1-1.
And, Lilio definitely thinks she's got the speed to beat that out at first, especially, everybody in the infield knows she's looking for it, and she says, I just might be faster.
Absolutely, as Wachenio's 1-1 pitch. And that is a slap hit by Lilio to second base. They'll just throw it over to first, and did Lilio beat it out? Baptiste says she did. Seemed like everyone in the stadium and the Carolina dugout thought she beat it out.
Yeah, we
a
might.
bang play.
I was about
I think
to
we're
say,
about to see a review call here from Ashley Chastain Woodard.
I think it's a good one. I think it's a good use of a
definitely.
challenge
I mean,
for sure.
Because, I mean, it changes the complexion of the inning. If she beats that out, it's runners on first and second with one out.
A bit of a Groundhog Day from your first inning.
It's true,
Yeah.
And the umpires are going to meet about it. It's an interesting strategy, I think, to have Lilio play small ball like that, someone with 12 extra base hits on the campaign.
But also, I think that is an aspect of her game that is why she helps her get on base so often.
It's why she's a great leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
She can do anything for the team, and, well, they're going to review it.
And one thing we also, need to credit is Brooke Blankenship did a great job not getting tagged there at second. That could have been a potential double, and looks like Lilio's going to be safe with ease there.
I agree. On the replay, it's kind of an obvious call, but that was tough in live action. I can see how they might have missed that, but the review operator here at Beckham Field is zooming in for comedic effect.
It's very nice today that we have a virtual review. We don't have to have the umpires run over to the corner like we did last time we were here at Beckham Field. Me and JP had the pleasure, if you want to say, of calling about a 4-review game, and then Texas Tech had to board their plane.
And the call on the field has been overturned. So, runners on first and second. Lilio beat it out. I'm interested to see how they scored that. I think that would be an infield single.
Infield singles.
I agree. And that'll bring up Carly Shelton, 0 for 1 on the night. And, I mean, a hitter you kind of like to see. She bats .444 with runners in scoring position, Spencer.
And again, we talked about it her last time up. She didn't get all the ball and still flew out to pretty deep right.
And she did, as that one is sent into left field, but no carry on it. All the runners will stay put. So trying to ambush first pitch was Shelton. She just lofted it right to Pone.
Unfortunate for Shelton, just couldn't quite barrel that one up. Again, off the end of the bat. And sometimes that you can get lucky with some contact. That one, Pone maybe had about 5 steps to take.
Yeah, no, kind of like the idea, but it didn't go South Carolina's way, as Wachenio now with 2 away and gets a swing and a miss from Ariana Rhodey, who walked back in the first inning. An .854 slug percentage on the season, 36 RBI, 11 home runs, 6 doubles. 17 of her 31 hits go for extra bases, Spencer.
You can read about every number that's listed for her, and it sounds mighty good.
Wachenio's pitch misses down, and Blankenship thought about taking off. Didn't, but she thought about it.
Yeah, and it was close to going through the legs of Brady. A good job from her for kind of pinning that to the dirt.
Yeah, absolutely. As we saw in the first inning, a pitch got away from her and led to the runners advancing, and now it's a 1-1 pitch. And a curveball in there for strike 2.
I was about to say, how many times have we seen that one tonight? Maybe once. That might have been the first curveball we've seen from Wachenio.
Exactly. So full arsenal on display here for one of the nation's best starting pitchers. Ariana Rhodey in a 1-2 count. Wachenio trying to get out of it, and it's fouled away by Rhodey. And so we'll live to see another pitch if you're Ariana Rhodey. But for Rhodey, with 2 outs, she bats .333 on the season. Pretty fair average there. And Wachenio looking into her wrist. Rocking back and forth. Winds. Delivers. That one misses high. Leaving up the count at 2 apiece.
Yeah, another rise ball looking for Rhodey to chase, but it's really hard to pitch to Ariana Rhodey.
Yes, it is. And an opportunity here for her to do what she did against Clemson, a 3-run home run. But Wachenio, the 2-2 pitch. Swung on in the dirt. Throws over to first to complete the K. And that will complete the 3rd inning of action. The score, still 0-0. South Carolina got their first hit, but left runners on first and second. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back to you guys for the top of the 4th. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to SGTV for the top of the fourth. Now, if in the first inning, Spencer, I told you, or after the first inning, that took about, I think, like 30 minutes. If I had told you we would be through 3 complete in the next 20 minutes, I don't know if you would have believed me.
I definitely wouldn't have. I mean, both the pitchers have really dialed it in after the first. And, again, if you want to talk about Sam Gress, again, a 9-pitch second, a 7-pitch third. Here she is in the fourth.
Yeah, so she toes the rubber to face off against Percy Yamas. And Yamas fouls that one away. Yamas 0 for 1 on the night, but a very strong hitter. 5 home runs, 2 doubles, 14 walks for the almost said the running Rebs. That was their name at some point, right? Am I losing?
I know UNLV. You know.
Oh no, God! Yeah,
I was going to say I don't know.
I've
if,
got Larry Johnson on the mind. Yeah.
As a Hornets Knicks fan, I feel like that's your.
That's my
your
prerogative.
obligation.
Yeah. As Sam Gress toes, the 0-1 pitch swung on and missed. Yamas dropping in a 0-2 count. I think she struck out in her previous at bat, looking, on a tough pitch, but
started 0-2.
Yeah, started 0-2. She battled a little bit in it, but Yamas now. Gress winds, swung on and missed, and the stare down from Gress afterwards. So Sam Gress really starting to feel herself.
She's pitching with some fire right now.
No action in the Carolina bullpen. One thing I really like, I think we've seen this season from Ashley Chastain Woodard, if someone has the hot hand, she lets them ride at the starting pitching position. And she's done that many times for Neely Lamb and Sam Gress. And now Gress will face off against one of her toughest opponents of the night, Lexi Brady. Gress will step off. That'll give us time to talk about Brady. Spencer, tell us a little bit about the at-bat she had earlier.
A 9-pitch ended up in a strikeout looking, but Brady, I mean, just foul ball after foul ball, just staying alive, and that's what she does until she finds one she likes.
And the first pitch from Gress is fouled away by Brady into the seats behind the Ole Miss dugout.
And we've got, again, a big old shift for Lexi Brady as Carly Shelton is playing to the left of second base. Again, just leaving Ariana Rhodey on this right half. The outfield is slightly shifted left, but
there's a big hole at the second base.
Oh, you could drive about 5 semis through it.
Absolutely. So if you're Brady, I mean, maybe a little Joey Gallo against the shift as that pitch misses low, leaving up the count at 1 apiece. It's a tight strike zone today, Spencer.
Sure is. I mean, the fans weren't happy about that one.
But I think
looked pretty good, but it's hard to tell.
If it's how the game's been called, then you just gotta live with it.
It's been consistent.
And Sam Gress fires, and that one bounces before the plate. Lost control of that off-speed pitch a little bit. So it's a 2-1 count now to Brady, who has walked 14 times on the season. A 390 average, 927 slugging. Unbelievable player.
If she makes contact, it's going.
I mean, she very much, reminds me of Adam Dunn. And Gress, that one is rocketed into left field, but Lilio was shading it perfectly. Kind of playing to the left of the SC logo in center field. And a nice quick 2 outs for Sam Gress against 2 of the toughest opponents in this lineup. That'll bring up Mackenzie Pickens for Ole Miss.
4 through 6 in this Ole Miss lineup is really, really tough. You've got Percy Yamas, Lexi Brady, and now Mackenzie Pickens. All of them hit almost over 350. Pickens just a hair below, but
will drop there after her out in her previous at bat. The second baseman with 5 home runs, 5 doubles on the season.
As a true freshman.
As a true freshman, very impressive. She's down 0-1 in the count after that pitch from Gress. 2 away here. And Gress winds, fires, and that one is popped up to the catcher, Winters, who drops it. Pickens will reach. It seems like there was a bit of a miscommunication. You had Chansey crashing from third, Gress crashing from the mound. Winters called them off, tried to make a lunge and grab, but it just popped out of her glove. And kudos to Pickens for running that one out. She's on first.
They called that an infield single for Ole Miss. That might be a little generous.
Maybe a little bit generous, but Ashley Chastain Woodard's going to come out. There actually is someone in the bullpen for South Carolina, so that might be it for Sam Gress. That would be a tough way to get the ball taken from you, unless this is just kind of a setting things up meeting.
Is it Jory Hurd out there and right? I can't quite, we've got a tough angle, but I'd imagine.
I can't really. It's either her or Neely Lamb. You got to think one of them would get the ball in this pivotal situation. I mean, taking this first game is.
You want to start on the front foot.
Absolutely.
But again, Gress has been really good. Probably should have been the third out there. They gave her a hit, so I feel like we have to go with the official scoring.
Absolutely, yeah, but
we can't overrule that.
No, but it is a tough play. I mean, it
literally, absolutely.
I mean, very much no man's land. And even if I don't know, maybe it bounced beforehand. Maybe if that's the case, then it would have been a hit no matter what. So we couldn't really tell from this angle. We'll bring up Ashton Lansdale, the senior from Marietta, Georgia, pinch hitting. And that one is popped up, a first pitch pop-up to the second baseman, and she makes the grab. So a quick, easy fourth inning for Sam Gress, and it's still scoreless here in Columbia. Number 6, South Carolina, 0. Number 19, Ole Miss, also 0. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back to you guys for the bottom of the fourth here on SGTV. And welcome here back to the bottom of the fourth here from Beckham Field at Carolina Softball Stadium. It's been a great night of pitching and defense so far, Spencer. A little bit less so offense.
Yeah, not much. Just one hit for South Carolina, 4 for Ole Miss. But, hey, we're still blanked here in the bottom of the fourth. And, South Carolina women's basketball just tipped off. If you're going to pop that up in another tab, hey, stick with us here. We've got a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. As Ella Chansey steps in against Wachenio, leading it off here in the bottom of the fourth for South Carolina. That pitch is in there for strike one. So a first pitch strike for Wachenio, Spencer.
Felt like it's been a while, but a good job. Starting off on a better foot. She's thrown 48 pitches so far tonight. Nothing really doing in that Ole Miss bullpen, but time will tell.
Absolutely, and that one is in there for strike two. So one of the best strikeout pitchers in college softball has Ella Chansey in an 0-2 count now to start off this fourth inning.
Yeah, she's got 2 Ks so far tonight, looking for her third.
She's 4 away from 150 on the season. And Wachenio looking to add to that here with the 0-2 pitch. Popped up into foul ground. It'll hit the netting just above the Carolina dugout. So Chansey stays alive.
Hey, that's all you got to do, especially when you go down 0-2 against Wachenio, just see if she tries to get you with that high rise ball and work your way back into it.
Absolutely.
And now the 0-2 pitch from Wachenio again is fouled away by Chansey. Chansey staying alive here. 20 walks on the campaign for her. 11 doubles, 1 home run.
And you could see that one was the curveball. It was, I think, a little bit in front of the plate, but Chansey'd already committed.
Yep.
Great job, though, from her just, getting a piece of it, staying alive, because we haven't seen it much from Wachenio, but it did strike out Ariana Rhodey, just the last batter.
Yes, it did, and Chansey batting 474 leadoff will pop that one behind home plate and staying alive.
If you're going to go down 0-2, keep
Just-
fouling
yeah,
pitches
just-
off and work yourself a long AB.
Yep, and so Wachenio's been really good about her pitch count in this one, just 48 pitches here in the bottom of the fourth. Staying out of extended at-bats, and there she gets a strikeout looking on Ella Chansey. It's her 147th strikeout of the campaign. Chansey goes down looking after a tough at-bat.
Yeah, that one,
When you're in that kind of hole, it's
Yeah.
hard.
it's very tough. Especially going back to the curveball. It's a killer. Sits down Chansey, but, South Carolina looking to just string something together.
Now Abigail Knight will step in 0 for 1 on the night. That pitch misses away. Knight was showing bunt. Just got to get on base by any means necessary in a game like this where any run could be, the difference maker.
It's been, the walks or that lone infield single for South Carolina.
And Wachenio fires. Misses away with that one. The count will run to 2-0. Wachenio looking at her wrist, gets her sign. Rocks back, winds, fires, misses again, 3-0. Wachenio has a very unique wind-up, Spencer.
I don't mean this in a negative way
No,
at all, but
yeah.
it's a little like robotic. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's very structured.
Two birds just were fighting and fell in front.
We did see, hopefully they didn't land in the crowd of people here at Beckham Field.
I don't know. Very interesting. And that one gets in there for a strike. So Wachenio avoids the 4-pitch walk, gets one over on Abigail Knight.
And you essentially, re-engage the batter there, as she probably was going to try and take a free base if she could, but.
Now Knight, going to try and fight things off as Wachenio rocks back, winds, fires, fouled away by Knight.
Just wasn't quick enough to the fastball there from Wachenio.
No, I mean, that one, she put a little extra on that, trying to blow it by her as the count runs full now to 3-2. And Wachenio looking to avoid her 4th walk of the night. She rocks back, winds, fires, grounded over to short, fielded cleanly, throws over to first, gets the out, the second out of the inning. As the shortstop, Ryan Starr, over to Percy Yamas. It'll bring up the catcher, Lexi Winters.
Yeah, that was a nice play from Starr at short. Knight did a good job just getting the bat to it, but couldn't quite beat out the throw. And, both defenses, I think, have been pretty spot on so far tonight.
I mean, nary other than what ended up being an infield single for Ole Miss. That pitch skips in there for ball 1. Other than what ended up being ruled an infield single for Ole Miss, I mean, I can't think of any time where the defenses were like, should have had that one.
Yeah.
Maybe the overturned fielder's choice on South Carolina's only hit on the night. But Lexi Winters 0 for 1, looking to get on the board, but a strike there from Wachenio evens up the count at 1-1.
Yeah, I think Wachenio's actually had better success targeting that inside third rather than the outside.
Yeah, but I think, obviously the scouting reporters, you kind of want to avoid that. South Carolina will jump on anything
Absolutely.
inside. And that one is line foul. Barely missing, skipping over third base.
Felt like one of the first pitches we've seen barreled up in some time by South Carolina. That one actually had a little pace on it, but just spun foul.
Yeah, it did a little top spin on that one. Winters gets a lot of different kind of hits. 31 on the season, 12 have gone for extra bases. A 316 batting average, 541 slug, 31 RBI. And Wachenio, the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. So Wachenio gets the K to end the 4th inning. We are through 4 scoreless here from Beckham Field.
The score, Ole Miss 0, South Carolina 0.
We'll be back here for the top of the 5th inning. We are back here, ladies and gentlemen, with SGTV to bring you the top of the 5th here between number 6 South Carolina and number 19 Ole Miss. This SEC matchup. Leading off, pinch hitting, is Rachel Connors, the freshman from Chandler, Arizona. She is pinch hitting for Angelina De Leon. Pitch from Gress is in there for strike 1. So Gress out for her 5th inning of work.
She's been awesome. That was just her 52nd pitch of the night.
Outstanding, given that 25 of them came in the 1st inning. She's been methodical and efficient, and the 0-1 pitch didn't get Connors to go. Connors only 6 at-bats on the season going into this game, but bats .333. She's got
2
2
for
hits.
6.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, Gress has been on fire tonight. 4 Ks, 16 batters faced.
And that one is in there for a 2nd strike to make it a 1-2 count. 16 batters faced, only 4 runners allowed on.
And no walks for Gress. You know,
Yeah.
we mentioned pregame that sometimes that's been a problem, but really finding her control, especially after the 1st.
And both pitchers have allowed no extra base hits as Gress, the 1-2 pitch, misses down and away. That'll even up the count at 2-2. Connors looking for her 1st walk of her college career. The lefty here, you know, playing matchups a little bit.
As De Leon was a righty, so they're trying to get to Gress any way they can.
That one misses low. Can't get Connors to chase. It'll run the count full to 3-2.
Yeah, nice try there from Gress. You know, get the freshman down in the zone, but works the count full.
And now Gress looking in her wrist, has the sign, winds, fires the 3-2 pitch, misses barely for ball 4. 1st walk of the game for Gress. A tough call.
Yeah, I'm sorry I spoke that one to existence, Gamecock faithful. But, you know, a really nice try on the frame there from Winters. That was almost just caught the edge here.
Yeah, that one's a tough miss. You know, bring up Ryan Starr. The shortstop, although we might be having another pinch hit. Or are we having a pinch runner?
See if we can get a number there for you. Is that number 2?
I think
no, 20.
25?
Yep.
Tenley Grisham will pinch run.
So Tinley Grisham, the pinch runner on first base. Ryan Starr stepping in the batter's box and tries for the bunt. They were trying there to get the runner over. And Grisham has to go back as that one was bunted foul. So 0-1 the count. Gress, I think she's probably pretty upset after losing that one. And so she's going to approach this at bat looking to get that double play and wipe that runner off of first.
And you can definitely get back here. You've dealt with some traffic on the base pass before, and it hasn't been a problem. See how she manages.
The pitch squaring up for bunt. Chansey came crashing in hard from third, collects the ball, throws it over to first for the out. So for Ole Miss, the bunt works out pretty well. Ryan Starr does her job, gets the runner over to second. That'll bring up Jaden Pone, who's 2 for 2 on the night with 2 singles, with a runner in scoring position against Gress. I think Ashley Chastain-Woodard's going to leave Gress in to deal with this one herself. Pone represents 2 of Ole Miss's 4 hits.
Yep, one over the head of Chansey in the first inning, the other one right up the gut to center.
And the infield crashing in. That pitch misses for ball 1. So,
got to pitch carefully to Pone.
You do, and I wonder, with the infield crashing in, Pone, she's shown she's a capable opposite field hitter if she's not going to try and just loft one over the head of Chansey at third base. That one is rocketed foul by Pone.
And both of her hits so far have been line drives. She's really made some good contact. Yeah.
1-1 the count now after that foul ball. Pone has struck out 13 times on the season, so not afraid of that number at all. Sam Gress looking to get an advantageous count here. She winds, fires. That one misses down and away for ball 2.
I like the pitch there. It was a little bit of a drop ball if you could maybe induce some weak contact on Pone.
There is action in the Carolina bullpen. I think that is number I think it might be Jory Hurd. But Gress here at a 2-1 count, trying to get out of it. She fires. Line foul again into the netting by Pone.
And, that's definitely what Gress wanted, to get into a 2-strike count. It's a 2-2 count. There's a runner on second, but if you can deal with the batter without contact, that is more than ideal.
Absolutely. Now it's a 2-2 count. The count running full, or the count running even. And Gress, if she can get out of this one, you're 1 out away from 5 clean shutout innings. Not to jinx it, but Gress looking in, winds, fires. That one is hit foul again. You can tell that either Pone is late or she's really deliberately trying to go opposite field. All her foul balls have been hit the other way. That one may be, the straightest of them yet.
And one thing we haven't seen this at bat, we've seen a couple different pitches, but we haven't seen the curveball from Gress. Wonder if she finally runs something in at the hands on Pone and catches her late.
Yeah, and Pone stepping in. Gress winds, fires the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Got her with the curve there. She already was going, tried to hold back, but, made her look dumb up there, did Sam Gress.
She sure did. Makes me look real smart. I feel pretty good about that one, JP.
Yeah, and that is Gress's 5th strikeout of the game, excuse me. And that'll bring up Lair Butte, who's 0 for 2 on the night, but a dangerous hitter. And Gress's pitch misses away. Butte almost offered up at it, but Gress has her season ERA down to 2.72.
Easily one of her best outings of the season so far, and especially if she can get out of this top of the 5th. An excellent performance.
Absolutely. The worst part is that she's not lined for the win, but the 1-0 pitch here from Gress misses away for a ball.
Good discipline there from Butte. Is that one awfully close to being a strike, but again, good knowledge of the zone, and that's been a consistent no call all night.
Yes, it has. Home plate umpire Jacob Aggie running a tight ship there. Lair Butte looking in. The 2-0 pitch from Gress fouled away. And that one, Gress getting on the board, getting a swing there, and just 2 strikes away from getting out of this 5th inning.
And she's done a really good job of inducing foul ball contact so far tonight. You know, on 2 strikes, maybe that's not your favorite thing, but, you know, especially when she falls behind, she's getting some swings that, you know, aren't even being put into play.
And the 2-1 pitch in there for strike 2. Player Butte caught looking. A hitter who hits .462 with 2 outs. But now perhaps the most pivotal pitch of the game to this point, Spencer.
Yeah, you know, we've got the crowd getting up here, a little more excited here at Beckham Field in what is a huge moment.
Gress has her sign. Wines delivers the 2-2 pitch. Popped up into left field, ranging over into foul territory. Vincent, she tries for the reaching grab over the wall, but can't get it. That one deposited into the visitors' bullpen.
Landed right on the tarp in the Ole Miss pen.
Yeah, Vincent, I mean, really had a nice shot at it. Just barely couldn't get her glove on it.
And, you know, I think if the tarp wasn't there, she maybe had a little more wiggle room to lean over the fence, but just unfortunate for the left fielder.
Indeed, so we'll come back to a 2-2 count. Gress looking to get out of this inning. Looking in, has her sign. Winds, delivers, and then hit back to Gress, who fields it. Over to first for the 3rd out. That one was laced right up the middle, and Gress made a tough play.
Yeah, and Gress showing some fire there, you know, a nice play right back to her as she goes through 5 innings of scoreless ball, and the Gamecocks, JP, just looking for a little offense.
Yes, they are. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th here. Stick with us here on SGTV. Beckham Field at Carolina Softball Stadium. It is a pivotal bottom of the 5th inning here for the home team as they escaped a runner in scoring position threat in the top of the inning. Now they get a chance to generate some pressure of their own as it'll be Natalie Heath stepping in a scoreless game between top 20 opponents, top 20 programs.
And, you know, we get to this point in the game, and it's still Heath only her 2nd time going up against Uchenio.
Yeah, Uchenio has been outstanding. That pitch, however, misses a little bit for ball 1. Uchenio, 64 pitches here in the bottom of the 5th. Just 4 scoreless innings, just 1 hit allowed, 3 walks, and what has been a tight strike zone. So some of those balls, maybe strikes in other games for her. That pitch skips in there for ball 2. Uchenio, I mean,
that's not a strike anywhere.
No, no, it's not. But, I mean, 148 strikeouts on the season for her. I mean, Ole Miss can go as far as she can take them. And now she's going to rock back and fire the 2-0 pitch. Misses low for ball 3.
And, you know, something, I can't remember if we've mentioned it or not, but just to reiterate it, Uchenio, a freshman.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's
ridiculous.
Yeah. It's a mighty good freshman class that the Rebels have at their hands here.
Indeed, and Uchenio rocking back in a 3-0 count. Misses high for ball 4. And I don't see anyone in the Ole Miss bullpen. I don't think they would pull their starter anytime soon. She is one of the best in baseball, or one of the best in softball, excuse me.
Well, and she's done a good job dealing with these situations so far tonight. So, if anything, I feel like she's going to get a little leeway.
And we have a pinch runner for Heath over at first base. It's going to be number 26 for the Gamecocks, Chloe Lackey, the freshman outfielder.
And most of her appearances come in these, pinch running situations, and that's something the Gamecocks do well. They do have some speedster freshmen, and that's how they get in the game. And, JP, they make it count.
Absolutely. So Lackey on first. You got some speed there. They'll bring up Brooke Blankenship, who got on base in her only at-bat tonight with a walk. And they thought she was going to bunt. Both infielders crashed in, but the pitch is in for a strike. So first pitch strike for Wachenio, who's
looking, get anything on the ground, try and get a double play, get the pitch count back on track. Blankenship batting .347 with runners on.
And she squares up for bunt. She lines it to the first baseman. But able to get back is Lackey. No double play there. So Blankenship, just a tough outcome there.
Yeah, not exactly the way she drew that one up, of course, is, again, anytime you bunt, unless someone's really crashed in and you bunt over their heads, you really want to keep it on the ground and try and make it as tough of a play as you can. But we might have a pinch hitter here.
I think we do. I believe it's Maya Flint, number 31. Stepping in for the Gamecocks, a freshman catcher from Rockland, California, bats .308. With 1 home run on the season, 2 walks.
And that 1 homer coming against LSU in what was a low-scoring, pivotal game. Another pinch-hitting appearance from her in a crucial, crucial moment.
A battle of the minds here between Ashley Chastain-Woodard and the pitch here from Wachenio misses, but Ole Miss head coach Jamie Trexel.
2 really good head coaches, and, an interesting thing, Ashley Chastain-Woodard used to be a pitching coach for the Ole Miss Rebels back in 2018, first time they meet back.
And that one, oh my goodness, Flint got all of that one, but foul. I mean, rest in peace someone's car in the parking lot.
I was looking at, there's 2 people walking out in the left field path, and, I wasn't sure if we were going to just see a yellow sphere rain down on them, but
well, I mean,
they're all good.
She was so early on that, it went pretty much directly backwards. A pitch now, the 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. Lackey faked like she was going to go. So a 1-2 count here
for Wachenio, trying to get the second out of this inning.
And Flint again ahead on the off speed there. If you're Wachenio, you go back to the well?
I think so. You've proven that, Flint kind of looking for the heater there, and now that one swung on and missed. The throw down, but the base is stolen for Chloe Lackey, her first stolen base of the season. And now, with 2 outs, it'll be Quincy Lilio, owner of Carolina's only hit tonight, getting her first attempt with a runner in scoring position. And it's just Carolina's second of the game.
And, this is one of the batters you definitely want up for the Gamecocks. You've got a speedster on second, Lilio up the bat.
And now a meeting on the mound. Looking to review the call. Maybe obstruction?
Runner leaving early, maybe? Let's check it out.
So we have a review coming, ladies and gentlemen, on whether or not Chloe Lackey left first base early. Well, we're going to get a good look of it here on the scoreboard. And if we don't, then that means she probably did. But
yeah, and I think we were definitely focused on the Flint strikeout, and that's going to be it there.
She did.
Bad news.
I hate to be the bearer about it. So that's going to be, would you call that a double play?
I think it's just called an out. I think I'm not sure necessarily how you score that one at home.
Strike him out, rule book him out.
Strike him out, challenge him out.
Strike him out, review him out.
Pretty quick call here, I do believe. And not so good news, Gamecock women's basketball down a little early in the first quarter, but they're no strangers to that.
No, they're not this year especially. But, yeah, it looks like Quincy Lilio will have to wait for her first attempt with runners on. Carolina's with 23 RBI on the campaign, just 4 Ks. Well, it looked like we were about to get a ruling, but maybe not. Here we go.
Any day now.
Maybe.
Maybe they decided that the footage is too blurry. It has to be thrown out. And therefore safe.
She's still on the phone.
I mean, it's a pretty cool little earpiece setup, I think.
It is very cool, yeah, I agree.
She's down there. She looks like a secret agent, JP. Don't cross the boss.
I know.
Well. And home plate umpire Aggie is going back up to the mound to speak with third base umpire Chelsea Clark. Well, here we go.
There we go.
And there we go, folks. The ruling is overturned. She did, in fact, leave early. And so that's going to end the inning here in the bottom of the fifth. An unceremonious end. But we head now to the top of the sixth. Still no score in Columbia. We'll join you in the top of the sixth. Stick with us here at SGTV.
We are here.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the top of the sixth in what has turned into one of the all-time pitching duels of this season. Number 6 South Carolina and number 19 Ole Miss locked at 0 here in the top of the sixth. Elia Binford, owner of one of Ole Miss's 4 hits on the night, steps in against Sam Gress, who's still pitching for the Gamecocks. Pitch is in there for a strike. A nice pitch there from Gress. Another first pitch strike.
Yeah, loving what, everyone is seeing from Sam Gress tonight. She has been lights out, and I love the decision, we talked about it earlier, to leave her in because she's showing no signs of slowing down.
Indeed, as this pitch
Fouled away, make it 0-2. Elia Binford, one of Ole Miss's best hitters, the 3-hole hitter on the season, strike out 11 times. Or maybe, did she strike out?
She has not struck out today.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, I was reading your thing wrong. Sorry. A 0-2 count regardless as Sam Gress will look for her 6th of the night. Gress winds, fires. That one fooled Winters behind the plate. A little bit of a...
Looked like he smacked the plate there. That was took an odd bounce.
So that'll make the count 1 and 2 for Elia Binford, who has 6 walks in the year, 41 hits, and 116 ABs. The 1-2 pitch from Gress. Fouled away down the left field line, snagging catch.
Good play
by
there.
Ole Miss's Ole Miss's third base coach.
One-handed, too. I mean, that was – might have a former player down there.
I mean, it has to be. Gress, it's still a 1-2 count. She's looking in. Winds, fires, popped up behind home plate, out of play.
Good job from Binford in working a long AB here. As her first 2 times up, it was a single on 3 pitches and a fly out to the center fielder on the first pitch. So working a longer, more quality at bat here.
Absolutely, and trying to get that pitch count up for Gress. She is sitting at 71 pitches. Spencer, 25 of which came in that first inning. The first inning was the real biggest threat for both teams in this game. They didn't cash in, and we still are at zeros on the scoreboard. The 1-2 pitch, that one is put into right field, and it is foul. Just barely crosses over the line. Chasing after it in right for the Gamecocks was
Abigail Knight out there.
Yeah, you know, with all the changes and stuff, we got to be sure.
Breakneck speed, though. I mean, she was about to fall flat on her face. She was running so fast to try and get to that one, but just out of reach.
And for Gress, still the 1-2 count, looking to get it away, get out of this at bat. Wines fires low for ball 2. So the count runs even.
And what's about to be the 8th pitch of the at bat. Gress is going to take a moment
and the 2-2 pitch from Gress. She winds, fires, fouled away. Almost took out her teammate on deck. The lineup.
Percy Yamas there.
Yeah,
She almost.
Excuse me. I've written on my lineup.
Hey, that's what
card
there's
so
2
many
of us
times.
for.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
No, but I mean, she almost took that one in the head. Good heads up at the on-deck circle there, as that one could have been bad.
Yep, and now the 2-2 pitch. That one is rocketed over to Blankenship. Backhand jump throw over to first, and she got her. Oh, what a play by Brooke Blankenship. Showing off a little Jeter action.
Turn back the clock, man. That was sweet from Brooke Blankenship. Again, your everyday shortstop here for years. No surprise what she can do defensively.
And a big first out for Sam Gress. Tough outcome there for Binford. She has had some tough luck. Speaking of tough luck, Percy Yamas, 0 for 2 on the night. One of the best hitters for this Ole Miss squad. 5 home runs. That pitch is in there for strike 1. Like I said, in the bottom of the 5th, both teams have yet to experience an extra base hit. They've only had runners on second 1 time per team. Excuse me, South Carolina's had it twice, actually. Last inning and then in the first. Gress working quickly. The 0-1 pitch. That one is put into shallow left field. Coming on is Vincent. She can't collect it. A hit for Yamas. Sliding attempt by Vincent.
Love that attempt from her. I mean, just past her outstretched glove, but really a good piece of hitting from Yamas. And I think, fortunately for her, it tailed away from Vincent. It kept going towards that foul line out and left. And, again, just past the sliding attempt. But credit to Vincent for just knocking it down.
Absolutely. And a pinch runner for Ole Miss as Yamas will hit the dugout.
Well, her hair is perfectly blocking her number right now, and that's just unfortunate, but we'll keep an ear out for the announcement here.
And that is number 2, Taylor Strain, the senior outfielder, pinch running. Up to bat is Lexi Brady, another power hitter for this Ole Miss squad. But now, with Brady coming up, I think that's going to be the end of the line for Sam Gress, what has been an outstanding outing if it is.
Could be a conversation, but we're about to find out, of course. We might get to see a little bit more Gress ball here.
I don't know. No door has opened in the bullpen.
Saw someone leave the South Carolina dugout and go talk to someone in the bullpen, but no changes just yet. And also, we haven't addressed it yet. You know, you're looking at my face almost exclusively because the the camera, we're in a bit of a tight squeeze here, and so, you know, I put on a suit just for you guys at home. So
It's true. I did not, because it's 1,000,000 degrees out here. And
it is.
It
might be proving fatal. I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
So it's going to be Sam Gress staying in to face Lexi Brady. 0 for 2 on the night is Brady, but a 386 batter with a 916 slugging percentage. With her power and strain speed on first, Ole Miss looking for their first run of the game. That pitch misses for a ball. Not sure where it did, but it's been a tight zone all night. 1-0 the count.
You know, again, we don't really have a strike zone to look at. That looked about middle from up here, but again, hey, who are we to argue?
Indeed. And now Gress, the 1-0 pitch. Popped over, Blankenship ranging back. Can she make it? She does. Blankenship fielding a tough little nice play, ranging from shortstop into the outfield.
Yeah, and you know, she might just retire the whole side herself here. 2 outs already from the shortstop, so really solid stuff from her.
Now bring up Mackenzie Pickens, 1 for 2 on the night with a single, batting .354 is the freshman. She had a tough at-bat her last time up that resulted in a hit.
Yeah, it was that kind of slicing pop-up in the infield.
And that one is put right up the middle for her second hit. Fielded cleanly by Lilio, so they'll hold strain at second, but Pickens jumps on the first pitch, puts it right back where it came. And the bat speed for her was tremendous on that one.
Yeah, I mean, she got a lot of that one. You could hear the sound of it, and that, you know, again, we haven't seen many big hits. That one felt like it had some real power behind it. And a runner in scoring position now for the Rebels.
And now Ashton Lansdell in for Ole Miss. She pinch hit her last at bat, and she puts that one into right field. But it's fielded calmly, and it's a third out for the Gamecocks. The right fielder,
I'm losing it on my
Abigail
stream.
Knight
Abigail
again.
Knight, excuse me, Abigail Knight. It looked like she thought that one was dropping a lot faster than it was. Make calm, collected, made the play. Another clean inning for Sam Gress. We head to the home half of the 6th inning with your score 0-0. Stick with us here on SGTV. And we are here for the bottom of the 6th. It's the top of the lineup coming up for South Carolina, leading it off. Quincy Lilio, owner of Carolina's only hit on the night. A walk included, and she is facing off against who else but Molly Wachenio. And Wachenio has been phenomenal tonight, mashing Sam Gress all the way. That first pitch right down the middle for ball 1. It's been a tough.
We've seen that one before. We
Yeah,
saw that last inning.
it's just, jeez Louise. I mean, neither team is getting anything. You know, it's.
And again, Brady, you know, just framed that one up and just sat there for a second.
The catchers have their own ways. That one misses high. for ball 2.
The Gamecock fans won't complain.
No, but, you know, we will when he does the same exact thing to grass,
of
which
course.
he's done multiple times. But for Wachenio, her season ERA down to 2.02 with 5 scoreless. She's on here for the 6th. Came into this inning with just 74 pitches thrown. And she misses there for ball 3. So
that one a bit outside, yeah.
yeah, you know, if there's not calling the other one, he's not going to call that. But, I mean, it's been very favorable to hitters and still no runs tonight, which I find very funny. Lilio will watch ball 4, miss high. She'll take her base. So Wachenio, that's going to be her 5th walk of the night. She's got 5 walks to 5 Ks. Something she has not done going into tonight. Just 37 walks and over 100 innings.
Yeah, and for Lilio, her last time she walked, she stole second base. So you got to think the Rebels are keeping a close eye on her. But for South Carolina, you have a base runner on with no outs. Top of the lineup here. It's go time.
And Carly Shelton is on. She bats .347 with runners on. The lefty watches the pitch in for strike 1 from Wachenio. Same pitch we saw 3 times last at bat.
I was about to say, I don't get the.
Yeah, this guy sucks.
But, well, there you go.
That's enough of that, though.
As it's an 0-1 count to Carly Shelton. That one is rocketed into left field over the glove of the third baseman. Lilio will hold up at second. Shelton is on at first. And De Leon just couldn't quite get her glove to it.
That is just an awesome piece of hitting there from Carly Shelton. Just stick out the bat and power it over the head of De Leon at third. 2 runners on and no outs. This crowd, how about them getting into it?
It's the first time they've really had something to be excited about during an inning. We got a mound visit here. No action in the Ole Miss bullpen from what I can see, but
yeah, it's just catcher-pitcher right now. Just
and
a little
who
chat.
else to have up at this point in time than Ariana Rhodey, batting .394 with runners in scoring position on the campaign and OPS nearing 1.4, 11 home runs, 6 doubles. Runners on first and second, no outs for South Carolina. Wachenio, one of the nation's best starting pitchers. She fires in there, and it's in there for strike 1. This is best on best for both teams. Late inning, the bottom of the 6th here. South Carolina's best chance to get runs all day, or at least since the first inning. Wachenio misses inside for ball 1.
2 straight off-speed pitches there, maybe afraid to go heater to Rhodey because, again, if she gets a good swing to it, kiss it goodbye.
Yeah. So Rhodey, Wachenio looking in. She has her sign. She rocks back, winds, fires. Misses outside now. Count runs to 2-1.
Rhodey's tough to pitch to, but you definitely don't want to walk the bases loaded here with no outs. That would be really tough.
And that pitch is put into left, but caught. Just didn't quite get enough on it. Ranging over to make the play was Pone and left. She has made some nice plays tonight. Tough break for Rhodey there.
Yeah, she got a good piece to it. It just Pone had ranging to her right there. It was close to the foul line, but again, just good defense and just didn't get all of it, but
no,
still a good swing.
It was a poor sweet spot because if she had hit a little bit softer, it would have dropped. So that pitch is high for ball 1 to Ella Chansey. But if that ball had been hit a little bit harder, probably goes over her head. If it hit a little bit softer, the one thing she couldn't do was what happened. And Ella Chansey now will step in looking for her first hit as she hits that one foul. Was out in front of that one looking fastball. Wachenio got her with the off speed.
Yeah, great pitch there, but sometimes they say it's better to be lucky than good, and Rhodey just didn't get lucky that time.
And now Chansey in a 1-1 count, 1 away. Runners on first and second for South Carolina. And Wachenio rocks back, winds, fires. And it's in there for a strike. He got Chansey. It wasn't a strike until the very last moment. You could see Chansey mad at herself, kind of mocking a swing there.
Yeah. Caught the inside third. A really good pitch from Wachenio, and that's puts her ahead in the count now.
Yeah, the 1-2 pitch here from Wachenio, and it's put into right field. It's down for a hit. Coming around third is Lilio. They're waving her home. The play at the plate. She is out. Lilio, just a perfect throw from right field.
That's a great throw.
Yes,
really
it is.
great tag. And Lilio was out by a step or two.
I was a little premature when I said it before the call.
You were dead on, though.
I saw it. I saw it. The umpire didn't make the call. But that is.
It was definitely an aggressive send there.
But when you haven't had a chance all night and you got as good what they tested the arm of Butte and that she made him pay.
Yeah, it's tough to want to hold up your hands there, but could have been bases loaded, one out. It's really tough. It's close, yeah, I think you may be okay with a play at the plate there if you have a chance to take the lead. Just didn't go the Gamecocks' way, but still, JP, runners on the corners and a really good hitter at plate.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll bring up Abigail Knight, who bats .340 on the campaign, .345 with 2 outs, .378 with runners in scoring position. She has 26 RBI tonight, and a base hit will give South Carolina the lead here in the bottom of the 6th against number 19 Ole Miss. Wachenio looking to get out of it for her 6th scoreless inning. She rocks back, winds, fires, popped foul, and out of play.
I like the aggressiveness from Knight, trying to attack the first pitch. I just respect it. Don't get too far in the back foot and really try to go out and attack Wachenio. Just couldn't get the barrel to it.
No, she couldn't. And, she 9 doubles, 2 home runs. That pitch is in there for strike 2. And an awkward steal attempt from Chansey.
It'll go down as a steal.
She stopped on the base path because she wasn't sure if it was foul or not, but that removes the force out at second base. So now a base hit could even give you 2 runs with Chansey at second. Knight, the 0-2 pitch. Misses wide for ball 1. Tough take there from Knight.
Yeah, good. It was definitely outside, but again, it's just so hard not to swing the bat when you go down 0-2, especially against Wachenio. With these stakes, you just want to make a difference in this game and take the lead.
Wachenio has her sign, rocks, back and forth, line, fires, swung on and missed. Wachenio goes way out of the zone to get the K there on Knight and preserves a scoreless tie here between number 19 Ole Miss and number 6 South Carolina. It was South Carolina's best chance to get runs. Nothing doing. Now we head to the 7th inning of play. Stick with us here on SGTV for what is sure to be a photo finish, folks. Welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen, for the 7th inning of action between number 6 South Carolina and number 19 Ole Miss. I mean, could you ask for a better, better place to be in all of Columbia right now, Spencer?
Not a chance. This is what you dream of, man. A scoreless 7th. The wind's right there. Go out and take it.
Yes, and it'll still be Sam Gress on the mound for South Carolina. She winds, fires, and that one is grounded up the middle. Fielded at second, throws over to first, and completing the out. Angelina De Leon grounds out there. Just a great play by Shelton at second. Spencer, South Carolina pitching has been phenomenal in the 7th inning when it matters most this year.
Sure has, JP. Why don't you tell us what the run differential is in the 7th alone?
Well, they're plus 23. They outscored opponents 28-5. And now I think we have a pinch hitter for Ole Miss.
Yeah, when the going gets tough, I mean, this South Carolina team really responds to pressure well, and they've won a lot of these games late. Who's the pinch hitter?
Taylor Roman, number 23, the senior right-handed hitter from Missouri City, Texas.
Seems like a misnomer. But
it'll be Sam Gress here working with one away. She winds, fires. Did she go? They'll appeal down to first. Yes, she did, says Lyndon Baptiste, the first base umpire.
It looked like she went there a little bit, but it makes a lot of sense to put in more of a power bat, Taylor Roman, and, you can still go back to Ryan Starr at shortstop for the defense.
Absolutely, and now with the 0-1 count, Gress fires, swinging and missing is Roman. So an 0-2 count for Gress. She's got 5 Ks on the day. She has her season ERA down to 2.66. And Winters is going to come out and talk to her pitcher.
This might be a good call here because Taylor Roman just looks a little scary. It feels like if she gets her bat onto this ball.
I mean, she's taking some very methodical practice swings there.
Looks like it chopped down a redwood.
Absolutely.
He's some big old hacks, and the entire infield, as well as a coach who's come out to the circle for a little chat, and we'll.
I think is that not Ashley Chastain Woodard? We might,
Nothing yet.
A coach came out to the bullpen to talk. I don't know if you'd make this change mid at bat. Maybe they're just doing an approach thing. They've seen something. And Gress is going to remain in the game.
That's what I was thinking. I feel like, especially with a pinch hitter like Roman, maybe Winters noticed something like, hey, let's not give her one she likes.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think, a completely fair thing. Roman, very much a power threat. Bats .256, but a .436 slugging percentage. And it's an 0-2 count. Gress, she has her sign. Looking in now, winds. Fires. Bounces in there for ball 1.
I like that pitch a lot. You got Roman to chase on a high fastball last time. This time you kind of skip one in the dirt, but, give her a chance to go chase one before you lock it back in.
Indeed, and so Gress now in a 1-2 count. Winds, fires, just staying alive, fouls that one back.
Didn't get much of it, but got enough to keep going. It's a beautiful night for softball. The sun has finally gone down, but
I mean, there's still track practice happening back there, so they need to watch out in case, someone powerful like Roman gets a hold of this ball.
I'll tell you what, they've been running for a lot longer than I can run.
Yeah, God. Yeah.
Every time these guys are like full sprinting around the track.
And now Gress, she winds, fires, fouled away again. Roman staying alive.
Seen a couple fastballs here, JP. 1-2 count. What do you throw to Taylor Roman?
I mean, she's been very swing happy. She's staying alive with the fouling off pitches. She swinging and missing, very swing happy. Tried and true in this game has been to buckle hitters with that curve.
I think she tries it again.
I'd aim for that outside third.
And now Gress, the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Gress gets the K and gets the second out of the inning. She gassed her up high.
She said, I hear you, Spencer and JP. Have one of these. Rise ball right at the hands of Roman. She still went. That is a beautiful pitch. And Sam Gress, every time she makes a big play, playing with some swagger out there, man, and you just love to see it.
Absolutely. And so that'll bring up Jaden Pone, who owns 2 hits on the night with a K as well. And that one is grounded foul past Ariana Rhodey.
Yeah, luckily for the Gamecocks, that one curved foul. Otherwise, she might still be running there.
Definitely had double written all over it at least. And for Pone, a speedy leadoff hitter as we've hit the top of the lineup here for the Rebels of Ole Miss. It's a 0-1 count now after that foul ball.
And for your Gamecocks, it'll be Lexi Winters, Natalie Heath, and Brooke Blankenship, your first 3 hitters in the bottom of the 7th.
That pitch is in there for strike 2.
Gone up 0-2, 2 straight at bats here. I mean Gress is really feeling it.
That is just, it's clinical. Now, Gress, the 0-2 pitch. Pone showed slap. That ball missed barely. It'll make the count 1-2 with 2 away here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, interesting from Pone there is, again, that didn't put the bat out there smartly, but, 2 strikes going for a slap hit is risky, but.
And Gress fires that one high with the rise ball, trying to get her to chase. Nothing doing. Count evens up here at 2 apiece.
I like the try again from Gress there, but, now you feel like she's going to throw something a little closer to the zone. Let's see it.
Yep, Gress looking at her wrist, has her sign. She winds, fires, swung on and missed. Sam Gress, have yourself a night. Her 7th strikeout of the game. And South Carolina will head to the home half of the 7th in a tie game, needing just 1 run to send everybody home happy. We'll be here to bring you that in just a few moments here on SGTV. And we are back here for the bottom of the 7th between number 6 South Carolina, number 19 Ole Miss. Spencer, we've played nearly an entire regulation game of softball. Nary a single runner has crossed home plate.
13 frames, no runs.
It has been electric stuff. I believe still in the game is Wachino for Ole Miss. There's no reason why she shouldn't be. She has lowered her season ERA to a clean 2.0.
Not a soul in the bullpen out there.
No, why would they? Like I said, Ole Miss will go as far as Wachino's pitches can take them. They've taken them all the way down to the wire here with the number 6 team in the country. Stepping in for South Carolina to lead things off is Lexi Winters, the hard-hitting catcher, 0 for 2 on the night. And Wachino wasting no time, getting into her windup, fires, popped up into foul ground, ranging over, making the catch for Ole Miss is Yamas. So 1 pitch, 1 away.
Yeah, Winters just didn't get all of that when it was tailing foul, and not what you want to do with the first pitch, but it's been a real battle of the number 9s here with Wachino versus Sam Gress. Gress has the half-inning head start on Wachino before we maybe go to an 8th. Gamecocks try to stop it here.
And it'll be Natalie Heath stepping in. Wachino, swing and a miss from Heath there. So a quick 0-1 count. And Heath, I mean, she has experience being the lone run in some of these games. She had a solo home run against Texas Tech, which ended up being the only run for both parties, and what was the deciding game in that series for South Carolina.
And she did that off one of the best pitchers in the country in Nigeri Kennedy. Let's see if she can do it here.
Absolutely, and
Wachenio.
we have a little bit of a,
Wonder if it's a pitch comm device error here.
I think it is.
Yeah. Maybe some new batteries going in.
Could entirely be that.
That's what it looks like, actually. It's Lexi Brady. She'll fasten that back up, and we'll get back to some action here.
Yes, we will. It's an 0-1 count to Natalie Heath with one away here in the bottom of the 7th. Gamecocks need just one. Haven't had many opportunities, but it'll be Wachenio firing it in there for strike 2. Curveball there, got her looking, and runs the count 0-2 on Natalie Heath.
That was a really good pitch there.
Wachenio looking for the put away, and it's lined into left field, dropping but playable for Lansdale, the center fielder. So another out here in the 7th. We are now South Carolina down to their last out in regulation, looking to end this thing here. Stepping in, it'll be Brooke Blankenship, the shortstop, solid hitter, 0 for 1 on the night, base on balls, and one of, I believe, 5 walk for Wachenio on the night, and she fires in there. First strike 1. I mean, Wachenio, it feels like she's only gotten better as this game has gone, especially when it comes to controlling these counts.
Yeah, South Carolina's gotten a little better at making contact, but nothing in the field, really. I mean, it's been lights out.
And the pitch misses high, runs the count to 1-1. For Blankenship, one of South Carolina's most pivotal players has had some great moments in this game. The Jeter throw. This 1-1 pitch misses wide for ball 2.
And JP, it starts with runners. Really, anything can help. So if it has to be a walk, that just might be what it is for South Carolina to get something going.
And if Blankenship does get on base, it'll be number 44, Emma Sellers, pinch hitting for Emily Vinson. And Wachenio looking to not even get to that. Misses there and make it 3-1.
Yeah, I want a tad outside. Brady tried to frame it up, but I think a good eye there from Blankenship to lay off.
Indeed.
And now the 3-1 pitch from Wachenio. And she misses high for ball 4. So Brooke Blankenship walks, her second walk of the game, Wachenio's 6th of the night.
And that puts the winning and potentially only run at first.
To bring up Emma Sellers, who has just 18 at-bats on the year, but 4 hits, 6 RBIs in those 18 at-bats. I mean, she just hits, as well as 5 walks. And a little bit of a pause here as Ole Miss is going to adjust the infield alignment here for Sellers, the senior from Lakewood, California.
Yeah, they're hitting the scouting report there. Is going to put on the shift a little bit for Sellers.
That opens up a massive gap, however, in right center. If Sellers can poke it there, Blankenship can fly around the bases. South Carolina won't hesitate. The pitch misses high for ball 1.
And Blankenship might be running anyway. We'll have to see.
And South Carolina hasn't been shy about that tonight. Multiple stolen base attempts. Only one where it didn't work out. They left early. Wachenio, she got 2 quick outs. Now trying to get her team out of this. That one's in there for strike 1. And the count runs to 1-1.
JP, with this infield playing so far back, how about a little bunt action here?
It would certainly be ambitious. The 1-1 pitch. Ooh, strike 2. Sellers, I mean, she knew it was a strike. She looked like she was about to go, but then she kind of froze up. Off speed there from Wachenio. Got her.
Yeah, that drop ball just kind of floated there for a while and then just sat right in the zone.
So Wachenio, one strike away from getting this thing to extra innings. She winds, fires, swung on, fouled away. Back into the netting. Just staying alive by the skin of her teeth is Emma Sellers.
It's the name of the game, man.
Wachenio looking at her wrist, has her sign, winds, delivers. Fouled away by Sellers. Was out in front of that one. Wachenio really going to the off speed for the put away pitch in this one.
Yeah, she has now, but I wonder if that's going to, you know, she's got Sellers a little out in front. Does she go to the fastball and just try and blow it by her?
I mean, she's one of the best pitchers in college softball. She can do whatever she wants, I think. She looks in at her wrist, has what she wants to throw, winds, fires, misses high. And the count will run to 2-2.
So we're about to see the 7th pitch of the AB. Emma Sellers, you know, making Wachenio work for it.
Almost certainly, that's all you can ask for from a pinch hitter. Put up a valuable at-bat like this where even if you don't get on, it's high-stress pitches on the arm of Wachenio.
She's over 100 tonight.
And the 2-2 pitch. Misses high for ball 3. So the count runs full here at Beckham Field. I mean, the excitement here, palpable. Runner on first for South Carolina in a 0-0 ball game. Has been dominated by 2 starters, Wachenio for Ole Miss, Sam Gress for South Carolina. The 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Sellers swings over the changeup, and we are heading to extra innings. Stay with us, folks. We'll be here as long as it goes. We are back here for extra innings as Sam Gress still towing the rubber for the Gamecocks here in the top of the 8th. Facing Lair Butte for Ole Miss, 0 for 3 on the night. She drops down a bunt. Winters fields, throws over to first, but she's safe. Couldn't quite get a foot down on the base. Was Shelton, the second baseman. Almost a perfectly played bunt, but an even better bunt put down by Butte.
Yeah, I mean, it was a perfect bunt from Butte as, you know, you get a runner on the first pitch, no outs. And again, it was hard because Rhodey came charging in. Shelton hardly had time to get over to the bag, but I think Boutte
Yeah.
would have beaten the throw out no matter what.
But a great play by Shilton to hang on to the ball and not let it get out of her glove and keep her at first. As we have a couple changes for you, it's Emma Sellers in left field for the Gamecocks after pinch hitting for Vincent there last inning. And pinch running for Ole Miss is Star Ferguson.
Number 12, Addison Duke.
You were covering up her name.
Hey, it was hard for me to illustrate the
I didn't know
point.
if you were pointing to the
should've just
number or the name. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So it's Duke on first. Elia Binford, one hit tonight for Ole Miss. And she was all over that one, but foul.
All over that one might be somehow an understatement as it goes over the wall in left, but thankfully left to the foul pole there.
Elia Binford, 5 home runs on the season, 33 RBI, batting .350 for the Rebs. She was just a little bit out in front of that one. It's now an 0-1 count as Sam Gress throws that one in there, but it's a little bit low. Count will even up at 1 apiece.
And she's over the 100 pitch mark now.
These are just two workhorses. Everything to
Absolutely.
their ball club. Of course, South Carolina does have some action in the bullpen. Ole Miss does not. So Sam Gress fires in the 1-1 pitch. The crowd not pleased. That was a curveball that had strike written all over it. For everyone here except for Jacob Agee. And a little bit of a pause as some instruction.
You know, if they could, that would be an ABS challenge almost
Oh my God,
instantaneously. Is that
But
one?
we don't have that here at the college softball
We sure
ranks,
don't.
so it'll run to 2-1. Just 6 walks on the season for Binford, the designated player for Ole Miss.
Prefers to just hit the ball hard.
And you know what? That's really awesome and cool. And she steps in now with an opportunity to get some runners in motion. The 2-1 pitch, bunted down, fielded by Gress, throws over to first for the out. So Rhodey makes the routine play over at first, and it's one away here, but a runner in scoring position for Ole Miss for the first time, Spencer, I think since the first inning.
I believe they had one in the 6th inning, but then it dealt with rather swiftly.
Because they bunted the runner over.
Pretty much the similar story here, but you know,
but now with one out instead of 2, it's Percy Yamas who got a hit her last time up. Power hitting threat for this Ole Miss team. 6 doubles, 5 home runs, 14 walks.
And 2 of her 4 strikeouts came her first 2 times up against Gress, but last time she got the better of the right-handed pitcher.
The lefty, the power hitting threat here with a runner in scoring position. That pitch is in there for strike 1. Just rifled that one by her.
Leave no doubt.
For Gress, with runners on, opponents are batting just .234. But Yamas is batting .523 with runners in scoring position. Each team just 1 hit with a runner in scoring position over the night, but that runner was gunned down at the plate. In the bottom of the 6th inning, it was South Carolina. It was Lilio hosed down at home plate when she ran from second. That ball, the pitch now with a 1-1 count. It's popped into left. Very playable for Sellers. She's under it and has it for the second out. No tag from the runner.
Nice play from Sellers, but again, nice easy contact induced by Gress there, and got out a really dangerous hitter.
Yeah, especially for Sellers, you come in off the bench, have a great at bat, and just barely miss getting on base a couple times, and then you're plugged in at left field, and you get a pop fly hit right to you if you drop it, the runner's scoring, and so kudos to her for while it seems like a very routine play. I'm sure it was one of the more nerve-wracking moments, as now there will be a discussion on the mound.
And I really...
As a call to the bullpen, I believe. Or at least someone pointed.
Yep.
Jory
Hurd, I do believe.
Unless they're retrieving her from it, because Gress is...
She's being brought to the dugout.
Yeah, she's being brought to the dugout. Unsure if... I don't know if that means... Equipment change for catcher Lexi Winters. No, it is going to be Jory Hurd She just had to get, I guess, a piece of equipment from the dugout.
Wasn't sure if she was being brought down for the next inning or if there was to be a next inning, but certainly not.
But after a tremendous outing, Sam Gress is going to hand the ball off to Jory Hurd, and Gress leaves to a standing ovation here from the denizens of Beckham Field. And, I mean, none more deserved. Gress goes 7 2/3, scoreless with 7 Ks, 1 walk, 7 hits allowed. And on comes Jory Hurd. Tell us a little bit about the new pitcher.
And, you know, Sam Gress, as wonderful as her night was, might not be considered the ace of this team because of Jory Hurd. She has had an outstanding year, a 2.56 ERA, 87.1 innings pitched, 72 Ks to 25 walks, and she has been frankly dominant for this team and just, you know, an 11-2 record. Not much more to say about her than that, JP. She's been great. And I wonder if they like the matchup of her against Lexi Brady, who's the batter with 2 outs now. Again, as clutch as it gets, you maybe just want to make this change to see something you like. Not sure.
Well, you know, especially with who's coming up for Ole Miss. If you glance down, it's Lexi Brady. Maybe it's just they didn't want Gress to face Brady for a 4th time.
A 4th time, that's what I was thinking, yeah.
Brady has the power to, you know, put Ole Miss on the board with 1 swing.
And not just make it a 1-run game, but that would be a 2-run game, and frankly,
yeah,
you know, we haven't even seen 1 run tonight, so 2 runs would feel insurmountable.
And now they're going to Hurd, the junior from Algonquin, Illinois. And stepping in is Lexi Brady, who's 0 for 3 on the night, but a .905 slug percentage, 12 home runs, 6 doubles.
And some good at-bats.
Some great at-bats tonight. So she has put some balls foul very hard as the pitch from Hurd is put into center. Ranging over is Lilio, and she makes the grab. So we head to the bottom of the 8th with still no score. Jory Hurd, 1 pitch, 1 out in relief of Gress. We'll join you in the home half of things here on SGTV. Stick with us, folks. And we are here now in the bottom of the 8th inning between number 6 South Carolina and number 19 Ole Miss. Leading off the bottom of the 8th, it's the top of the order coming up for the Gamecocks. And, well, frankly, if you were trying to score at least 1 run, Spencer, who else could you ask for a better leadoff hitter?
Yeah, Quincy Lilio, 2 walks tonight and a single, so that makes her 1 for 1 on base all 3 times against Miley Wachenio.
And that pitch is in there for strike 1. So no 1 count, and
You know, Wachenio,
7 Ks, but 6 walks. I mean, if she had gotten that down a little bit, she's only allowed 3 hits on the night, Spencer.
she could pitch, I mean, this whole thing really if she wanted to. As that pitch
In there again for strike 2.
That was a beauty.
Lilio has gotten on base in all of her appearances tonight. 2 walks and a hit in 3 plate appearances.
And it was the top of the 6th, or the bottom of the 6th inning. Started exactly like this. Top of the lineup, and South Carolina thrown out at home. It was Lilio, and what could have been the game-winning run.
And Wachania, and that one is grounded foul. So Lilio staying alive here. I mean, we've mentioned it many times, but she has struck out just 4 times on the season as a whole. So she's gonna fight like you know what to stay alive here.
Absolutely.
And Ole Miss is shading right a little bit. Infield is playing normal, but there's a gap in left center where Lilio could deposit one. And Wachania fires, and it's put there, ranging over to make the grab is Ole Miss's Pone. Just didn't have enough on it, hung up in the air.
Yeah, and again, a little too much air under it, but had the right idea. Pone, a nice play. She's been really solid out in left field so far. And JP for Wachenio, that was pitch 113 of the night.
Just, hey.
My arm would be in tatters.
Ace-level stuff here. Brings up Carly Shelton, who's 1 for 3, but a hit in her most recent appearance. That pitch misses high for ball 1. She got all the way to third base and was left stranded.
In that 6th inning rally, that wasn't.
And the 1-0 pitch misses high for ball 2.
Good eye from Shelton, and I feel like that's kind of where South Carolina has had their best moments. Wachenio starts kind of on the back foot. She's forced to throw strikes or walk you. That's what South Carolina wants.
Exactly, and the 2-0 pitch from Wachenio misses again, 3-0. So, a favorable count for Carly Shelton. 3 home runs on the campaign, so she has the power. No wind, if any. Showing slap hit here. Backs away, but that one misses for ball 4. So Carly Shelton, the winning run is on first base for South Carolina, and it brings up Ariana Rhodey. No hits tonight. She does have a walk.
I mean, we've talked about it before. You know, this is who you want up to bat, and Shelton's a solid base runner. This is a golden opportunity for South Carolina.
She flew out to left in her last appearance. That one skips in for ball 1. It's been a little bit of an issue, you know, especially with a runner on, that South Carolina has definitely gotten some nice jumps. They know that if she's, you know, she likes to throw the off-speed to the big-time hitters, so you can get a little bit, you know, get the runners in motion, and that would change this game completely. That one misses for ball 2.
And on that first pitch, it was a really good block from Brady to keep it in front of her.
I mean, Brady's had a very nice game, even though I don't think she's gotten in the offensive column at all. But that's a little bit of a meeting at the mound between Brady and Wachenio. Brody in a 2-0 count. I mean, she has the greenest light.
If anybody
on the
has
team,
it, it is certainly her.
But on a night where you've walked 7 times, maybe you're going to play it out a little bit, especially if it gets to 3-0. After meeting at the mound, well,
we're going to get a full-blown timeout, I do believe.
Yeah, as here comes Jamie Traxel, excuse me.
Couple tough names on the roster here tonight, JP.
Yep. No movement in the bullpen.
Again, I think this might be Wachenio's until it ends win or loss. So.
I mean, if you save the rest of your arms for the rest of the series, it's not a bad idea. South Carolina, I think they're banking on ending this one early so Hurd will be available.
For either tomorrow or Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be probably her and then Neely Lamb. The other 2 pitchers on the roster is Katie Becker and Olivia Kotkowski. Only have, you know, sub-20 innings thrown combined. So
I wouldn't be shocked if we saw Lamb tomorrow and Hurd either, you know, a little bit of a long relief role or the Sunday starter. Depending on how long she goes tonight, though, we may not see her at all. And that's what South Carolina, they want to avoid.
Yep. You know, if you can score a run here, by all means, you know, they want to do it.
And the delay is now over. Ole Miss satisfied with whatever they had to say. Stepping back in, Ariana Rhodey. 0 for 2 on the night, a .369 hitter, 11 home runs. 6 doubles. A 2-0 count facing Wachenio. Skips in for ball 3. Miley Wachenio, I mean, it speaks for herself. Her ERA has dipped below 2 with this start. But she has walked, I think, probably more hitters than any outing of her season so far. And the 3-0 pitch. Misses high for ball 4.
You know, Rhodey slamming down the bat saying, let's go. They're excited to walk here because you know what? 2 runners on, 1 out. Got a real chance to either advance them or score them.
Well, now we have even more signage coming from the dugout for Ole Miss.
Yeah, 2 back-to-back 4-pitch walks from Wachenio. And we will see a pinch runner. It's going to be Nia McKnight replacing Carly Shelton at second, one of those speedy freshmen we were talking about earlier.
Yep, and stepping into the batter's box is going to be Chansey, who got a single in her last at-bat. She was the one who got the single where Lilio was thrown out at the plate. And the Gamecocks had runners on second and third there. Didn't convert them. Now she's got an opportunity, the same opportunity. Runners on first and second. 1 out. I mean, last time, South Carolina, like you see, they're not taking any chances now with the the introduction of McKnight as a pinch runner. Still no action in the bullpen for Ole Miss. They're letting all this one weigh on the shoulders of Wachenio.
And another thing about that is there are a couple, position players that pitch for Ole Miss. So we could see Yamas, for example, as a freshman pitcher. She could move in and they put in a first baseman.
Duke, who pinch ran earlier for Ole Miss, is now playing in right field for the Rebels. And the pitch from Wachenio. In there for strike 1. I mean, on the flip side for Ole Miss, 1 pitch, you could get a double play here and extend this thing into a 9th inning.
It's happened before.
It has indeed. Chansey, the only person tonight with a hit with a runner in scoring position. Did she go there? They don't check down at all. So
I think she pulled it back in time, so really heads up from Chansey as that one dropped off a cliff.
Now it's a 1-1 count with 1 out. Runners on first and second. South Carolina, the winning run is on second base for the number 6 rated Gamecocks. The pitch from Wachenio in there for strike 2.
That fastball's been killer, man.
It has. I mean, it has gotten her back. I mean, she loses it a little bit on these off-speed pitches. They bounce in the dirt. The going gets tough. She goes with the heater. And she has put herself in an advantageous count now. Up 1-2 on Chansey. Wachenio, the pitch. Misses high. Tried to get Chansey to expand the zone there, and she doesn't. Deuce is wild now, Spencer.
Yeah, mighty close there. I like the idea from Wachenio, but 2-2, it feels like you need an out here.
I mean, either it's a fly out, strike out, ball on the ground, double play. The pitch. Did she go? They won't check down. The count runs full. Ella Chansey with the biggest chance of the night for South Carolina. Runners on first and second. 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Miley Wachenio steps off.
In what might be her first self-called timeout of the night. We saw Gress do it a couple times. I like that. You want to regain some composure and take a breath.
Absolutely. And the 3-2 pitch misses high. Chansey walks, and it will load the bases for Abigail Knight with 1 away.
3 straight walks, so Wachenio is responsible for every base runner and no hits for South Carolina in that stretch. Big time moment here, though.
A meeting between Lexi Brady and Wachenio on the mound. Wachenio, her 9th walk of the outing. She's only surrendered 3 hits in 7 1/3 innings pitched. She has 7 Ks. All those very good marks, but 9 walks have killed her, and that's what's been this South Carolina team's bread and butter. Great at-bats.
Very disciplined.
And now it's a chance for Abigail Knight to be the hero. That pitch misses outside. one out of the count. Nowhere to put Abigail Knight, who has 9 walks on the season, 0 for 3 tonight, 2 home runs, 9 doubles. Number 7 for the Gamecocks, showing bunt. Wachenyo looking at her wristband. She winds, fires. Knight pulls back. That pitch misses high. 2-0 the count now.
It's getting dangerous for Wachenyo
It is getting
here.
shades of the 1999 NLCS. When the Mets walk the bases loaded to send the Braves to the World Series, Abigail Knight can send all these fans home happy here in Columbia. That one misses high. It's 3-0 the count now. Wachenyo not getting Knight to chase.
The crowd on their feet now, JP.
Indeed. Abigail Knight showing bunt. Wachenyo, the 3-0 pitch. Misses for ball 4. A walk-off, bases loaded walk. And South Carolina wins. And
Ole Miss.
the umpires are leaving the field as quickly as they can. Ole Miss not too pleased.
Not happy at
South
all.
Carolina gets their 1 run on their 10th walk of the game.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
doesn't get much better than that.
Ole Miss's head coach. I mean, Coach Traskell getting right in the face of the home plate umpire, asking where that pitch missed. And he just, brushed her off and quickly escorted out of the facilities. But doesn't matter how it happens, JP. Gamecocks take game 1.
Yep, by a score of 1-0, we're going to take a quick break here. We'll come back to you from the press box for a wrap-up to complete tonight's coverage. And we're back here from the press box to give you a quick little recap of tonight's action as Spencer, South Carolina gets their, if I can find it here, 29th win of the season with a bases-loaded walk-off walk in extra innings against number 19 Ole Miss. Their 10th walk of the game. Your thoughts?
I mean, JP, it goes back to the fundamentals of this team, and that's disciplined at-bats, great pitching. I mean, an incredible outing from Sam Gresco, 7 2/3, over 100 pitches, blank the Rebels. Joy Hurd coming in for the final out. It was really great stuff from this Gamecocks pitching crew. Again, the offense didn't get in the box score the way they traditionally do, but they walked, they ran the bases well, and they ended up coming out on top with a bases-loaded game walk-off walk.
It reminds me of their game against North Carolina where they had the run rule 11-3 after 6 innings where they walked, I believe, 11 times in that one?
Yeah.
For the Gamecocks, you got Spencer Ball with you the rest of this series against Ole Miss. After that, a home tilt with Charleston Southern before the Gamecocks go on a 4-game road trip to Arkansas and Clemson up in the upstate. It's been a pleasure being with you here tonight as South Carolina once again wins in extra innings 1-0 off the back of 10 walks and some outstanding pitching. For SGTV, I'm JP Berry. He's Spencer Ball. Have a great night, Carolina.